Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, a little Lenormand corner of Khải and Nguyên. My name is Khải. So today we are going to take a look at the Lenormand reading for June 2026, focusing on the overall energy between Kim Soo Hyun and Kim Soo Hyun. So before we dive deeper into the June energy, I just want to have a quick reminder about the previous astro clock that I have done for them before. So for Soo Hyun, we have rose, we have clover, and we have letter. So as I said before, this month could be a positive month for Soo Hyun. So at that time, about 6 months ago, I said June could be massive turning point, and Soo Hyun would have to make a heavy and critical decision. And also at the same time, he will receive some positive news, a stroke of luck or some kind of official announcement that would act as a major breakthrough. And for Jiwon, her cards have Fish, Tower, and Tree. So I said she might encounter some heavy delays. So it could be because of their cash flows and the investments of her new projects that is a little slower than anticipated. Or she might face some health or family issues, or some structural matters. Maybe she could have a chance taking some days off to spend time with family, or dealing with some official legal type environments that represented by the tower over here. So if you have been following the news over the last few days for Soo Hyun, so finally the South Korean police have officially and fully cleared Soo Hyun of those awful allegations regarding the late actress Kim Soo Hyun. So the investigators officially concluded that the evidence used to try and ruin Soo Hyun's career was completely fabricated and manipulated by YouTuber Kim Soo Hyun and using AI voice cloning technology. So the police are now actively pursuing an arrest and warrant against him for defamation. So talk about the clover and the latter combined. I think maybe in June, the official announcement, June or late May 2026, that the official announcement and the total vindication is exactly a lucky breakthrough and official news the cards promised him for June. And probably Soo Hyun is, or he will be ready to cross this massive crossroads here. And for Jiwon, I think I hope that there's not too much delay that will happen for her in June. I don't follow the news on her Dr. X project so much, but I think she is almost finished with that. So I hope there's not much of the delay on the final stage of the shooting. So yeah, so I hope the tower and the trees energy will protect her well-being as well. Alright, I hope she will have some days off. Alright, so let's move these cards on the side. Before we look into the detail for June, I want to mention again, my readings is not stating a fact. Okay, so please resonate what you think that's suits you. Okay, and gently leave the rest. Right, let's start with Kim Soo Hyun, June 2026 energy trading. Okay, let's see what the universe will tell me about Kim Soo Hyun, June 2026. Oh, luck. Okay, so we have double luck here. I really hope the clover will bring him a lot more luck in June. Ladder again. Okay. Scythe. So I hope whatever the official announcement will cut him free from all of the defamation or the allegation that he's is involved in right now. Okay, I hope this will cut him free. Stars, we have a lot of hopes and dreams. Some bright futures is waiting. We have the tree that is longevity, health. It could be a delay or it would take some time to wait for, but yeah, I think I don't see anything that is very negative over here. Stark is a huge change, massive and significant change. I think June could be a very important milestone. Yeah, like I said, it's a turning point. Okay, so I think here hopefully everything will go into the correct and good way for him. Key, so probably Soo Hyun will have a solution. Like I said, he may have to face a decision that he have to make with the crossroads over here. So I think he with the keys here, he will have the solution. He will have the key to open the door, the key to answer to all of the problems that he has been facing and experiencing and enduring in the past year. And key is very important. So we have the significance and the importance both show up over here with all of the other positive cards. We have rider. This is also matching with a letter. This is the news. So letter could represent like a piece of paper or a post, a letter. But rider, it could be like a person, someone that is announcing the fact or delivering the news, or someone that is visiting or will have deliver the news in short. And we have the man, the gentleman, which is Kim Soo Hyun himself. All right. Alright, so let's take a close look at clover letters and scythe again. So if there was ever a literal confirmation of the legal clearance, so that would be it. So the clover will bring that sudden stroke of good fortunes and relief immediately, followed by a letter. Which represent the official documents or police reports and the written truth. And we have the scythe. Like I said earlier, I really hope that the scythe will cut Soo Hyun free from all of the issue and problem. So in Lenormand, the scythe cuts swiftly and cleanly and shortly, immediately or very suddenly. So to me, it tells me that the official police announcements in the lucky break has completely cut away the lies, the fabricated drama, and the toxic burden he was carrying. I really hope that it will end completely a dark chapter in Soo Hyun's life right now. I think the threat to his career has been completely severed. So it has caused him so much stress. So I think because of that, that's why the tree shows up right here in the middle, because it represents mental health, physical health, also family. So I hope that because of the clovers, the luck in the clover and the official news in the letter, will cut him free and bring him the hope and the dream, so that he can take back the stability in his mental and physical health. I think the tree and the stork over here, they also represent really huge family support, like a really good foundation to Soo Hyun as well. Okay, so to me, the tree and the stork here, they are his family, they are his supporters, his friends, so someone that have a really close connections to him. And with the tree and the stork, they both represent the longevity, the long-term relationship. So I really think that with all of the past events that have happened, his family has always been waiting patiently with him to support him, to bring him all of the hope and wishes and dreams, and guide him to go out of the dark. Okay, so earlier I said the scythe, I hope the scythe can suddenly end a dark chapter in Soo Hyun's life at the moment, and so that he can walk on this crossroads and find the North Star, find the right direction for him to follow his dream, his true self that's represented in the stars. Okay, I think at the end, the stars over here will set him free from all of the nightmare, but will bring him all of the sweet dreams over here. Okay, so June, it means half years of 2026 will be passed by. It's been a long time, so more than a year, and probably starting March last year 2025 to June, so it is 15 months. Yeah, it much more than enough for the stork to get ready and fly away. Okay, usually the stork, it represents the 3 trimesters of the pregnancy. So now with 15 months past since last year, I think the stork is ready to make a really huge change that can turn and flip the table upside down. Okay, so maybe in June there could be some evidence that is really strong that support Soo Hyun. Okay, so we have the keys over here. It could be that evidence. Okay, so let's coming back to the stars again. I think this star is also represents Soo Hyun's career, because he is a true star himself. He is a lovely actor that always passionate with all of his job, all of his projects, and everyone loves him. Even with the incident that has been that has happened for more than a year, that we still believe in him. He is not the one that talks so much about himself. He doesn't say anything. He just makes action. He proves himself. He doesn't want anyone to not believe in him. He always try to find the strong evidence to prove himself and protect himself. Okay, he just want to protect himself, protect other people. He doesn't want to harm anyone if that is not necessary. Okay, he doesn't want to do that. Yeah. And coming back to his reputation with the star in his career, I think the stars in the tree, it could represent his long-term growth, health, and the deep-rooted stability again. So maybe after this allocation has been finalized, I think he will gain back all of his reputation away. Okay. Yeah, and then he will start to move forward. Okay, he will find himself. He will move like a stork here. Okay. He will be undergoing a very massive personal and professional rebirth. Okay, I have done a few other readings about Soo Hyun's career after the lawsuit finalized. So he will be reborn from the ashes like a phoenix. Okay. So yeah, I think after June, going forward to the second half of the year, Soo Hyun will go into a fresh and upgraded chapter of his life where his health and his status will be fully restored. Okay, and then now we look at the key, the rider, and the gentleman. So the key, I said, it is the card of solutions, of a key answer. It could be the card of destiny. Okay, it's matching well with the stars over here, that leading him to find the North Star, to guide him to go into a bright future, a bright path. And yeah, so this key, it will unlock the doors where it were previously shut on Soo Hyun. And right next to the key is the rider. This is the ultimate messenger, bringing swift incoming news, acting on the breakthrough of the key. And we have Soo Hyun here, the gentleman, sitting right here at the foundation of the reading. So because Soo Hyun is sitting at the bottom, he does not have the control of everything that happened above him. So to me, whatever happened to him in June, it's very objective. Okay, so he doesn't have to really do anything, but the truth will reveal everything about him. Okay, other people, other forces, other factors will help him improve that for him. So yeah, I think I can have a really strong hope about his future that will be handed back to him. So we can expect a swift and exciting new projects, some confirmation or a major professional breakthroughs coming straight to him very soon. Okay, so I think he will be back like this rider. He will be back in the driver's seat of his own life, fully powered. Okay, so the second half of 2026 going forward to 2027 and 2028, I can see that it's very promising. Okay, I think it will bring him more of the clover, the lucky clovers here, and bring him more of the opportunities for him. Okay, so these spread, I have a lot of hope in positive energy that I can feel it from here. So I am quite excited for this deck. Okay, so let's move on to the second deck to see if I can get more information about Kim Soo Hyun's overall energies in June 2026 to see if they are compatible with the first deck and the first 3 cards of the extra cards I did before. Okay, so we have stars, tower. There could be the court, government building. Okay, could be anything that related to legal matters. Women. Rider again. Women again. Card rose. Lilies. Lilies represent peace, something that is long term, similar to the trees over here. Yeah, and it have a male energy in here. Sometimes it represent the legal matters like the tower as well. And we have the bridge, which is the connection. So I think June is the turning point that connect Soo-Hyun's image and reputation back to the public. And I think starting June 2026, these bridges that can connect him can bring him back to the world, and will give him a lot of like he will expand his network starting June, okay, or later June. And we have the scythe again. This is the cut. So because the scythe showing up next to the bridge over here, I can see it as in 2 ways. The first way is to cut him free from all of the bad connectors that previously tie him down, and then these the scythe and the bridges together like this, I think he can immediately move on and create and expand more of his network. All right, so let me put these cards back. We have card rose here, clover, and letter. So this combination clearly tell me that either the courts or his talent agency or the law firm that represents him will announce something officially regarding Soo Hyun. Okay, I think they are positive news. And then we have double clovers in the stars. Yeah, once again, this gives me a really strong hope. I really think that June will be a very lucky month for Soo Hyun. Okay, yeah, we have a lot of hope, a lot of dreams. And Soo Hyun, he is the stars like this, and he will be shining. Okay, he will stand on his 2 feet again strongly, and he will. I will hope that all of the lucks will surround him. I really hope that the goddess of luck will stay with him. So talking about the goddess of luck, this deck have a lot of female energies in here. So I don't know if these women are actively on the same side that supports Soo Hyun, or one of them will be on his side and the other one is on the opposite side. But the women's energy in June, I think that it will help him to overcome all of the difficulties and decisions that he will need to make. In all of the previous readings, as I always say, one single woman card. It does not represent just only a girls or women, but it could always represent multiple ladies, multiple women in his life. Okay, and because two women shown up here, so the female energies in this one is even stronger. So I think these women, I think maybe one woman is on his side and the other woman is on the opposite side. With the side right here, I think it will cut him off from one of them. Okay, with the crossroads right here as well, he will have to make a decision. Okay, I think to me he will be leaning toward the woman more, the woman that is on his side, that has been supporting him for a long time, and this is the decision that he needs to make, and this is the path that he has to go. He has to cut himself free, pick the path that leads into this woman, that then he will receive the final letter or the announcements that will give him a very clear and good result and bring him some news, some calmness, some peace of mind. Okay, and he started to make the decision, make connection again. Okay, so in short, I think the female's energies in June could have a very heavy impact on Soo Hyun, and they in a plural context, and she herself in a singular context, that will change the circumstances. Yeah, I think in this month Soo Hyun will need a lot of help, support, advice, and comfort from this women. Okay, regarding the women right in the central here of the deck, I am quite debating if she is actually on the opposite side or not. It just gives me a feeling that she might be, and then he have to cut himself free for that. And because she is on top of the tree, which represent long-term and longevity, yeah, I think she may be the factor that have been a very that make him feel very heavy whenever he have a heavy heart whenever he think about this women for a long time. So yeah, I think if he want to move forward, he need to cut himself free from this women, and he need to go together with this woman on the side here. All right, so yeah, so in general, overall, in the two decks that I did for Soo Hyun, I think there are a lot of positive and fortunate news will come to him in June, and maybe after that in later the second half of 2026. Okay, yeah, so there are a lot of hopes for us to look forward, so that we can cheer him up in June. Okay, I think that with all of the help of the supporters, I think he will cut off all of the toxic and fake relationships that do not serve his peace. Okay, so I think he can build the new bridges to the future. And yeah, we can certainly hope for a lot will happen in June. All right, so let's move on to our lovely actor Kim Soo Hyun. Let's lay down the first deck and see how her energies will be for June 2026. Okay. Key solution. Scythe again. Tree. Snake. Like I usually say, the snake is Kim Soo Hyun herself. Okay. And also the Bulgari. Birds. It's communications or rumors. Mountains could be a block, distance, difficulties, real mountains in the nature. Okay. Clouds. Could be some confusions over here. G1 may not know what to do. Okay, that's why we have the difficulties, challenges over here. Okay, yeah, I think maybe in June, Kim Soo Hyun may have to face some difficulty. So she have to face with the rumors, all of the communications that she is very confused about. Okay, and all of these rumors, it could suddenly happen to her, and it could have a deep root somewhere that she may not know of. We have hearts. Okay, there's a lot of emotion, desire. She feels the love. And we have the whip, which is the conflicts, controversials, or arguments. Okay. Looking back on this side, we have the tree that I pulled for her from the astral clock. So I think this month is a mix of emotions for Kim Soo Hyun. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what to say, but it's quite intense here. Okay, she have a lot of moments that she may feel like a sudden disruption. She may feel she has a sudden crisis within her family or her personal life. And right in the central of the deck is the birds, which represent the rumors or the communication. And because of the whip over here, I think in June she might have some miscommunications or misunderstanding. And because of the misunderstanding, we have the key solution over here is to talk, to explain, to clearly tell the other person how she truly feels, how her heart really feels at the moment. Okay, so she can cut all of the confusion within the relationship over here. To me, this deck is completely related to her personal life, except for the snake over here. Sometimes I said yes, it is Bulgari, it is Kim Soo Hyun herself, but in this context, I see that in June she have to deal with a lot of personal matters over here. We have the snake here with the heart. It could be the jealousy, and the mountains here is a distance. So maybe in June, she couldn't have a lot of time to spend together with her loved ones, her family. It is a long distance relationship for the month of May and the month of June, because she doesn't have a lot of time to communicate. So maybe it could cause some arguments, some verbal conflicts, which leads to miscommunications and confusion. Okay, and then I think Kim Soo Hyun is trying to find a solution to solve all of the communication problems right here, but maybe she is having a little difficulties because of the long distance and the time it takes for her. Okay, so yeah, talking about the trees again with the double trees, I hope it's not related too much about her health or her family's health, but maybe it is just about the family roots. Or I just want to say that maybe all the issues that she is facing, maybe it's just because of the long time processing, okay, a delay. There are so much contrast in this spread, because I can see the tree in the mountains represent the slowness, while the whip and the scythe, they are action cards. They are very quick, very sudden. So yeah, I think maybe the conflicts, it happened because she couldn't find the right timing to deal with it. Maybe she is confused about the time. Maybe she wants to have it quickly done, but the external factor impact on her timeline that makes it a little bit slower than her expectations. Okay, so yeah, or in another meaning, I think she may have to deal with some urgent family matters that require her to instantly halt what she's doing right now. Okay, so she have to actively communicate, to coordinate, to work on the schedule. All right. They are a little bit negative, so I don't want to think about it that way. But I just really hope that Jiwon knows herself, knows what she needs to do. Okay, and to me, she have to listen to her heart. Okay, she need to understand herself to find the key solution, to find the answer for her. And yeah, don't keep everything closed like in this mountain. She have to speak it out. And also, I forgot about the birds. The birds, it does not only represent a communication or the rumors, but it can also mean the double, not the dual, like a couple. Okay, so it can go quite well with the heart over here and the jealousy that are in love with the snake. Yeah, and also with the bird, sometimes it can represent another chance that she is flying. Okay, that represents the distance here. So in June, maybe she will have to fly in the sky, okay, far away from her residency, her resident house. Yeah, so that could be the cause the root of the cause that she doesn't have enough communication with her loved one, or maybe because of those trip, it happened very sudden, so she doesn't have a chance to communicate all of her schedules with her family and her loved ones. All right, so this deck, I feel like it's quite intense, quite heavy. They are very 50-50 to me. Okay, with the heart over here, it brings up a lot of the brightness and the positivities, but I feel like it's still quite intense, and I hope that in June, Jiwon will have some relaxing moments for her. Okay, and I hope she will be able to get out of the confusions over here. Okay, so let's move on to the second deck, okay, to see if I can get more information, to see if she can actually have a little bit more of the bright side in June for her. Okay, let's see if Jiwon can break through these mountains, the challenges and the difficulties and the confusion in June to find her clarity. Moon to see her reputation, her emotions. Bear, someone that is powerful, could be someone that is older than her, someone that is bigger than her physically, or someone at work who is her senior, or could be a boss. Most of the time it refer to a giant person, like a man, but in a family's context, it could be a mother, which related to this family here, family tree. We have the hearts again. Okay, once again, I hope June will be a very I hope June will be like a good month for her, that she can fulfill her hearts. Oh, gentlemen, right on the top of the jealousy here. A dog, loyalty, friendship. I have stars, a lot of hope, wishes. Star, like I said, it work well and it matches with in terms of career, because Jiwon is also an actress in the movie industry. We have lilies. This is it's represented pure long term. Sometimes it take time. Peace and calm. Gentleman again. And dice. I don't know if you can connect it with the previous deck that I did for Soo Hyun. We also have lilies and stars. And in Soo Hyun's deck, the female energies showed up quite strongly in the second deck. And here with Jiwon, the male energy showed up really strong here as well. The male's energies show up very strong here. Okay. Lilies also have male's energy. The heart also have male's energy. The bear, like I said, physically could represent a man, all right, with power and strong protection. All right. So, I think this deck is much more better than the previous deck. Okay. So I think the confusion in the clouds here has been lifted. So she is able to move on or find a solution so that she can see the moon here. The moon is clearly about her emotions. Okay, so it matches really well with the hearts and the dark. The moon. stars. This combination talks about very deep institution, public recognition, soulful emotion. Okay, work-wise, business-wise, that means that Jiwon have like a true love, true admire and desire and respect from the people who love her, from the public, from social media, from the fans, from the supporter. She have a pure heart that people would, whenever people think about Jiwon, she said, oh yeah, because she have the heart in the moonlight. That's obviously the start will be Jiwon herself. This is the true Jiwon, that she has everything to represent herself like a real star in the industry. Okay, so I think in June, her public image, her recognition, her reputation in June is even stronger. Okay, so I think it could be because she will finish a project and then enter a new one, or her new campaign with all of the brands will release some of her new images that make people feel that she is even more successful. People will look forward to see her new transition, her new career move in June. Okay. So yeah, I think for this one, I think it gave me a lot of hopes and fortunate feelings for June. So it's not as heavy like the previous deck. So I think in June it could be like a balanced month for Jiwon, as she have to get herself out of the busy days and relax and fight for herself some how do I say that? she need to relax, to slow down, okay, before coming back to the high speed, the pace of her career. All right. Let's talk about the male energy again in this deck. I think because the first half of June, Jiwon may feel very heavy, very intense. She may be very stressed and burned out. But the gentlemen can help her to get some hope from the stars here. He or they can help her to heal and share the dream, and to guide her, to protect her, to show her what to do, what to go next. Okay. Or maybe if this is her loved one, because of the hearts show up over here, I think both of them, Jiwon and her loved one, feels the peace in their relationship. All right. So the gentleman, he will help her to navigate the mountains and the clouds, and he is bringing the inspiration, hope, and a clear vision back into her life, guiding her toward her true path. Okay, and help her see the light at the end of the tunnel. We have the dice over here. It's quite interesting because this card, it represents a chance, something that is risk taking or fate. But if the dice showing up, it means that luck is on Kim Soo Hyun's side. Okay, so I think maybe she won't think June will be a gambling month for her, that she has to make the decision that is gonna be hugely impact her personal life and her career. That's why she have to make the dice. But I think whatever decision is she makes, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna turn out well. Okay, with all of the positive cards that I see in the second deck here, I think that all of the family members, all of her loved one, the fan, the supporter, the people she should work with, who are very supportive to Kim Soo Hyun, will help her, okay, to move forward. She is fighting her footing, and she isn't doing it alone, okay? She has so much love. Okay, so once again, the first half of June is very heavy and intense for Kim Soo Hyun, but the second half of June will be better. Okay, all right, so it's quite long already, and I want to move on to the last deck to see how the Kim couple love life reading will give us the any idea to see how exactly Kim Soo Hyun and Kim Soo Hyun are coming together behind the closed doors with all of the events that happen in June. Okay, let's see the overall energies of Kim Soo Hyun and Kim Soo Hyun in June 2026. Clouds, fox, key, house, foundation. Oh, the fox here. I said sometimes the fox represent Kim Soo Hyun, okay? And we have the snake here is represent Kim Soo Hyun. Owls, owl is similar to the birds here, but instead of rumors, the owl's much more wise, is wiser, so it could be confirmed information. Okay, moon, very deep emotions. Gardens, gatherings, moment to cheer together. Safe and tower. Okay, we have towers here. I don't know what you guys thinking about this deck, but I think this one give me a key answer, a solution to all of the previous deck, especially for Kim Soo Hyun. Okay, so like the first deck of Juwon is very intense, right? But I think for this one, both of them, Kim Soo Hyun and Kim Soo Hyun, they will fight the voice, but they share the voices, they share the thought together to fight the key answer, the solution. So I said birds is communication, that in the previous deck, Kim Soo Hyun might have some issues with her communications. But I think for the couples reading at the moment, I think they have the deep, the late night conversations so that they can understand each other more. So at the beginning of the month, there may be a lot of confusions about Kim Soo Hyun and of how he is dealing with the lawsuits at the moment, with all of the public allegation or the false accusations on him. Okay, those things, it can personally affect their relationship. That's why the clouds showing up next to Kim Soo Hyun, the fox over here. And this is the second time the cloud shows up already. So to me, because I feel that Kim Soo Hyun and Kim Soo Hyun, they are deeply connected, they're soul together. So whatever impacts the other person, it will ultimately heavily affects the other person as well. So in this case, Kim Soo Hyun. So I think even though in June a lot of good news, a lot of positive coming news will come to Soo Hyun, but both of them, they cannot let their guard down. Kim Soo Hyun is still very concerning about what will happen to him. Okay? But overall, I think both of them have built a very, very strong foundation, like the house and the tower over here. Okay? The foundation that built and nurtures their love, their understanding, their emotions, their care of each other. Okay? So both of them will be cautious in June. Okay? But at the end, I think they will find the key solution to unlock the situation. Okay? I think at the beginning of June, they might have faced some crisis, but going toward the end of the month, the crisis will not tear them apart. Okay? So instead, because of finding the key to clear his name, it has unblocked a massive doorway or destiny to him, and by extension, for Kim Soo Hyun and Kim Soo Hyun relationship. Okay, so I feel like the fog is officially clearing away. The good thing of the two clouds that's showing up here is they both show up in the first column. Okay, which the bright side is facing toward the future. So that is the good thing. Okay, and we have the scythe again here. It will cut themselves free from all of the confusion. Yeah, I like how the scythe showing up here in this position. Okay. Yeah, I think this deck is give me the feeling that both of them, Kim Soo Hyun and Kim Soo Hyun, they have deepened their emotional bond and filled a profound and highly spiritual romantic connection. Okay? They understand and they support each other so much. Okay? So finally, they know how much powerful of their deep communications and sharing thoughts will help them to strengthen the mental connection between them. Okay? So yeah, I think in June, they will even strengthen their romantic relationship. Okay? They have everything that they need. They have the foundation. They have the family. They have their emotion, so that they can enjoy the moment together. Alright? Yeah. So what else can I get from here? We have Tower, represent legal institutions, official boundaries, corporate structures. The scythe cutting the public and the official tower. Okay, so they are making a sharp decision to completely sever their private life from the public view. Yeah, probably they try to build a battery to protect their private life against the public view. Okay, it's a very powerful and protective relationship that I can see. They are choosing each other, protecting their peace, and stepping into a beautiful and secure future together. Okay, with the future column over here, key, moon, and tower, this relationship is very strong. All right, so yeah, it's a very long reading that I made today, and thank you so much for joining me. And if you have any thoughts, any comments about the reading, please leave the comments below. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.